Hi folks, welcome to my office. My name's Kent Smith. I'm the author of Everyday Christianity, Life Learned Lessons and Observations from an Ordinary Man. I've got a couple of things on my mind this morning, and I want to start by asking you a question. What did you have for breakfast this morning? Did you have some cereal, bacon and eggs? Or maybe you're just a coffee drinker or drink a soda, some orange juice, whatever to get kick-started. My point is, I think that either already today or sometime later today, you're going to probably eat a pretty good meal. You're going to feed your body in order to keep it healthy and strong and active. If you're a kid, you do it to grow. And it's a natural part of our makeup. It's just what we do. Now, let me ask you another question. What did you feed your mind this morning? Did you just listen to the news? Is that all you put in there? Did you read the newspaper, listen to or watch CNN and Fox? You know, a couple of mornings ago, I realized that that's what I was doing most of the time. I would start my morning by listening to the news. And even if it was positive, I'd find that the anchors were trying to tear it down some way or another, or there was someone trying to put the kibosh on it. You know, anytime someone disagrees with you, you have the right to say something about it, but man, it just gets kind of tiring, and quite honestly, it just puts a lot of negative thinking in there when you listen to that stuff every morning. So this brought me back to a time a few years ago. Paula and I had been taking the Dallas Morning News forever, and we decided to stop. So instead of sitting at the breakfast table and reading the Dallas Morning News for 45 minutes to an hour every morning, I started reading the Bible. And it was amazing, folks. Now, I'm going to confess to you, I had never read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. I may have read it all at one time or another, just bits and pieces, looking for things, and I doubt that. But because of the commitment I made to do away with the morning news and start reading the Bible every morning, I read the Bible from cover to cover 5 times over the period of 3.5 years. And I'm not a fast reader. So it's doable. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And in that 5 times, I read it in 3 different translations. So it gave me a different perspective on things, if you will. And what I noticed is that I began to have a more positive outlook, a more positive feeling about my day. I've got a good friend named Richard Beasley who, in his commute every morning and on his way home in the afternoon, listens to either motivational type series or he'll listen to the Bible on CD. I know he spends a lot of time in prayer to God while he's on the road, and to me that is the prayerful attitude, the praying continuously. That's what it means, is to just have this mind of prayer all the time. Now it's difficult. It's hard to have a mind of prayer with a bunch of negative stuff, because when we start praying with negative thoughts, it's more of a selfish prayer. It's, Father, help me get over this, or please give me that, or please allow this to happen, instead of offering ourselves as a gracious servant and thanking Him for the sacrifices that He made for us. So I really think it's important to start the day on a positive note. I want to tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was heading out to South Fork Ranch. We were actually going to sing at a breakfast for realtors. We were going to sing Christmas songs that morning, and on the way out there, I stopped at a stoplight, and beside me was a car that was in the right-hand lane, and he could have turned right, except he wanted to go straight. Now, the guy behind him was of the attitude that if you're in that right-hand lane, you better be turning. And he honked and yelled and screamed and beat on his steering wheel. It was actually kind of funny to see that. And as I sat there, I thought, man, this guy's going to have an awesome day, isn't he? I mean, can you imagine when he got to work and the attitude he was going to have with his friends? Can you imagine how he was going to treat his dog and his wife when he got home that evening? I mean, he was set for a bummer of a day from the word go. And probably started with bad stuff going in that morning. You think it might have been better if he'd have had some positive going in? Well, I think so. So what I want us to encourage us to do, I want you to start considering what you put in your mind every morning, what you feed yourself throughout the day mentally. What do you think on? What do you read? What do you listen to? What do you watch? and see if you can make a change that will make things better. I think if you put positive things in, you're going to get a lot more positive out, and you're going to be able to live a happier, less stressful life when you do that. And I've kind of proven that to myself, quite honestly. Look, I want to read a passage for you out of the Message. Now, the Message is a transliteration. It's not really a translation. So don't take everything you read in the Message Bible as what it should be. But go to another version, go to a real translation and make sure if there's something there that seems a little off, make sure what you're reading. But I want you to look at Philippians chapter 4, beginning in verse 8. Actually, it is verse 8. Summing all this up, friends, I'd say you'll do best by filling your minds and meditating on things true, noble, reputable, authentic, compelling, gracious, the best, not the worst, the beautiful, not the ugly, things to praise, not things to curse. Wow. Hey, put stuff in there. Think about things to praise, not to curse. Think about things that are beautiful, not things that are ugly. And when we do that, we become a more beautiful person, if you will. Now, I've got a lot of room to get better. And maybe you do too. Because I don't think we ever get to the ultimate. You know what I mean? We never make it to the very best we can be. But as long as we're striving, as long as we're working in that direction, we'll be much better off. I want to encourage you. Take the time to read the Bible. Take the time to read self-improvement material. Take the time to listen to Zig Ziglar. Take the time to talk to God. Take the time to go to church. Take the time to put yourself around people with positive things in their mind and positive attitudes that they live and lead, and it'll rub off on you. Folks, I appreciate your attention today, and I'm going to finish today's video, and I may start doing it all the time, with the words of a song that Alan Jackson wrote after 9/11. And they're really beautiful. Actually, they take the thought from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the love chapter, you remember. But I really like the way he puts it. And so I want to finish that way. The words are, I know Jesus and I talk to God. And I remember this from when I was young. Faith, hope, and love are some good things he gave us. But the greatest is love. Till next time, friends, this is Grumpy Smith.